जय हिंद. नमो बुद्धाय. नमो दस भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस. नमो दस भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस. नमो दस भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस. बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि. धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि. संघं शरणं गच्छामि. तुदियं बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि. तुदियं धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि. तुदियं संघं शरणं गच्छामि. तदियं बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि. तदियं धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि. तदियं संघं शरणं गच्छामि. पाणातिपाता वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि. अदिन्नदाना वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि. कामेषु मिच्छसारा वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि. मूसावादा वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि. सुरामेरयं मज्जपमा तट्टाना वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि. साधु साधु साधु.
Yes. Thank you, Nida. Jai Hind, Namo Buddhaya. It's very nice to hear in the starting of the conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So today we are starting the fourth chapter of, I think, part 5. What is this? Part 3. Yes. Yes. So it's the conversion of Bimbisara after the conversion of the 3 brothers, Kashyapa brothers, Urvela Kashyap, Nadi Kashyap and Gaya Kashyap. So while we are starting with conversion of King Bimbisara, it is mentioned here that King Bimbisara was the king of Magadha, and the Rajgraha, the name is still now there in Bihar. This Rajgraha was the capital of Magadha and the king was Bimbisara. Because all these places, this conversion of the 3 brothers, Kashyapa brothers, took place in Gaya, that was also in Magadha at that time, as it is in Bihar now. What had happened there had already reached the king Bimbisara, and he got to know about the conversion of all the 3 Kashyapa brothers. And after hearing this, King Bimbisara was like he was very excited to know all this thing, because he knew that it was very difficult to change the this stubborn. He gave the name obstinate to this brothers. Obstinate means they were very stubborn. They were not listening to anyone, and it was like that no one can change them. They were jatilas and no one can change them. But they changed. They converted because of the Buddha, and it was not an easy task. Bimbisara knew it, and so he was very impressed, and he said to himself that it's not so easy. They were very orthodox, very stubborn. So he thought that the one who has done this work of changing or converting this three Kashyapa brothers, he said that the one who has converted must be very knowledgeable one. He must be the wayfarer, it says, knowledge and conduct, proficient in knowledge and conduct, the wayfarer who understands the world, the highest world, who guides man, the teacher of gods and men. Means these are the qualities he is mentioning. And he knew this quality person can only change them. So he knew that this such kind of person who is proficient in all these things must be teaching only the truth and truth. So he thinks that it is a the Buddha, and it's lovely in the beginning, lovely in the middle, and lovely at the end. It is said that way. We always use the word Mangal, Sukhadai.
Bhakti, 1 second. I think we skipped a chapter. We skipped Sariputta and Mogalana. We were supposed to do chapter 3, not 4.
Hariputta, we did not complete last time?
No, we did only Kasyapas.
Oh.
Yes.
So can we take it next time, this one?
Okay.
No problem, no? I'll mark it here. Okay, I thought we completed because it's very hectic work nowadays. Okay. Actually, I read it myself last time and I'm thinking that I have completed it. Okay.
Since we just started the Bimbisara chapter, we can just finish it.
Padil, I'm not able to hear you properly, Mridula. Hello? Mridula?
Yeah, it's just...
Your voice is repeating.
You can go ahead, Badal.
Okay. So, what he says, the King Bimbisara says, that this Dhamma which has been taught by the Buddha is very useful and fruitful in the beginning, also in the middle and at the end of the life, we can say. In the spirit and in the letter, he must be proclaiming and consummate perfect, pure and holy life. Means his teachings are such that he proclaims widely. Widely he proclaims, and it's full-fledged and very pure. So it is good to obtain the sight of a man like this. So he thinks that he should meet such kind of person who is having such good qualities within him, who is changing the life of the stubborn people, who are bringing them to the right path. So King Bimbisara, surrounded by 12 myriads of Magadha Brahmins and householders. 12 myriads means it's the word used for thousands. Thousands of Magadha Brahmins and householders went to the place where the Blessed One was, where the Buddha was. And please listen this. I'm reading this. We can find out how people used to express their gratitude and their regards towards Buddha. We can understood from this. I'm reading it. Please listen properly. Having approached him, he means the Buddha, and respectfully saluted the blessed one, he sat down near him. Like means King Bimbisara sat down near him after saluting him. And of those 12 myriads of Magadha Brahmins and householders, some also respectfully saluted the blessed one and sat down near him. Some of them, they saluted and sat down beside him. Some exchanged greetings with the blessed one, and it means some spoke greeting words like when we say Jai Bhim Namo Buddha like this, and it must be some other words that time used. So they exchanged greetings with the blessed one, means the reply was also given by the Buddha. And having done so, they sat down near him with complicit word. Very humbly they sat down near him after exchanging the greetings. Means two type of people. One respectfully saluted him and sat down. Others they greeted, exchanged the greetings. Means they greeted him, and Buddha replied to them. And after that, very humbly they sat down. The third type of people, how they do, some bent their clasped hands towards the blessed one and sat down near him. Means they joined their hands and they just pointed towards the feet of the towards the Buddha, and they sat down there. Means they just folded their hand, and they sat there without saying anything. Some people they made known their name and family name before the blessed ones and sat down near them. The fourth type of people were like they wanted to give their identification, so they told their name and the family name to the Buddha, and then they sat down near him. And some sat down near him silently, and some of them were like very silently, they did nothing, but they sat near him and they did not speak a word. They were very silent. So five type of people we can find here, how they respect the Buddha. We can find it nowadays also, this kind of people. They show their respect, their gratitude in different ways, and it is nothing wrong in it because everyone has their own way of saluting or respecting people. This is one thing why I am saying this, because I found many of the bhikkhu and bhikkhunis, they say that you know Buddhism, you are Buddhist, so you should do only Panchang Pranam. You should know this, how to do it. Yes, obviously, everyone should know, but under what situation they had come or what mentality they have. Every people are coming from different situation. They have and they have different thinking, so they can show regard in any ways which is mentioned here. Maybe different also. So we have to understand it is not getting respect is not to be forced to anyone. Now the next one, out of these 12,000s of Magadha Brahmins and householders, saw Urvela Kashyapa among the monks who came with the blessed Lord. Now people who went to meet Buddha, they saw that Urvela Kashyapa was also sitting with between the monks with the Buddha. And they had in their mind that how it is so. Is Urvela Kashyap following Buddha or Buddha is following Urvela Kashyapa? Why this question came into their mind? Because Urvela Kashyapa was also well known for his having 500 of disciples with him, and he was working independently, where they were not able to think the relation between the Buddha and the Urvela Kashyapa. So they were, because he was also well known, so they were like confused whether Urvela Kashyapa was under Buddha or Buddha was under Urvela Kashyapa. Whether they were following, with whom is following whom. So, and this confusion was seen on the faces of the people. So, Buddha got to know that this kind of question is being arising in everyone's mind. So, he asked Urvela Kashyapa to tell what has happened in Urvela when Buddha went to his place. How the fire worship he left. Because we know from the last chapter of Urvela Kashyapa that Buddha was not allowed to stay in the kuti where there was, they were doing the fire worship, because he thought that the Muchilinda Naga would come and he would disturb Buddha or may kill Buddha. So Buddha wanted Urvela Kashyapa to tell all these incidents to the people and how what was why he left fire worship and also the fire sacrifice. When Kashyapa was ordered by Buddha to tell about this, Kashyapa replied to it and he told that the sacrifice, it was for it was not good for him, the fire worship and also the fire sacrifices was not good for him. It was impure, he says. He says it was impure because it increased the sense desire for women also. The sights and sound and all the taste, it increased the desires, it says. Also about the senses of the women. So he says that it was very impure and so he has nothing to do with, or he has no delight for sacrifices and offerings. So he left it. So after hearing Kashyapa, the reply which Buddha has asked him to give, people think that but if you don't mind, tell us what made you think so. Again the Buddha asked Kashyapa that why you felt like leaving these sacrifices and offerings. Then the Urvela Kashyapa again he rose up from his seat, adjusted his upper robe and cover one shoulder. See here, one again think it's coming. When he got up, while he was sitting, he got up, he adjusted his robes, that is the chivara what we say, and the chivara has to be on the one shoulder. It is said that time, the chivara was on the one shoulder, prostrated himself, inclining his head to the feet of the Buddha. He just inclined his head towards the Buddha's feet. That means he is also giving respect to Buddha before telling something what Buddha wanted him to tell. Then he says, I left these sacrifices and offerings because Buddha is his teacher. Buddha is his teacher. Here he clears to the people that Urvela Kashyapa was following the Buddha's teaching and Buddha was his teacher and I am his disciple. Then the 12,000 of Magadha Brahmins and householders understood that Urvela Kashyapa is following the Samana, that is the Buddha and his teachings. And the blessed one who understood in his mind the reflection that had arisen in the minds of those 1200s of Magadha Brahmins and householder priests to them is Dhamma. After this, Buddha taught Dhamma to the all 12 thousands of people arising there, the Brahmins and the householders. And which this teachings of Dhamma from Buddha, it changed everything. The example given is like just as a clean cloth free from black speaks properly takes the dye. Thus 11 myriads of those Magadha Brahmins and householders with Bimbisara at their head while sitting there obtained the pure and spotless dye of the Dhamma. See what example he has given. A clean cloth free from black speaks. If there is any spot, any color spot, it is said here black spot, black speak. If any black spot is there on a clean cloth, the dye is not clear. But if it is clean without any spot, the dye is properly done. So, accordingly, the Dhamma also was very pure and spotless dye, like thing which was obtained by the people sitting there who were listening to things. I would like to give example nowadays. I don't know whether I had given it in earlier talk or not, but the people now we see that like at the time of 14th October 1956, we know that many the 5 lakhs of people who gathered in Diksha Bhumi, they were wearing white, pure white clothes. Whether men or women or children, whoever gathered there, they came in white cloth. And it is said that at that time, all the shop, someone went to buy white cloth before entering there, seeing others in white cloth. They were not getting it because every shop had finished this kind of white clothes. So, why this white cloth was there at that time? So, we can understand from this paragraph what we had read here, that white cloth which is spotless, any minute kind of spot, if we see on a white cloth, it changes, we don't feel that the cloth is clean. Even a minute spot makes that white cloth dirty. So it is a kind like everyone when want to hear Dhamma or to come in Dhamma, they should wear white cloth. It resembles that Dhamma is so pure that not even a black spot should remain in your mind, as you don't want a black spot or any other spot on your white cloth. In the same way, you should keep your mind very pure and clean, not allowing any spot to remain there. This is what the Dhamma's teachings are. So, this is the reason why we wear white cloth. We always think that after wearing the white clothes, we safeguard our clothes, that they should not get dirty. In the same way, you have to safeguard your mind too. So, after hearing all these things, the Dhamma from Buddha, every people had pure and spotless dye of the Dhamma in their mind. They obtained it. And after hearing this, one myriad announced having their become lay followers. Means out of these thousands of people there, 1,000 they announced that they want to become the lay followers of Buddha. So they announced it, and they took refuge in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Then the Magadha king, Senior Bimbisara, having witnessed the scene, Bimbisara saw what is happening there. He heard Urvila Kashyapa, he heard his reply, how Buddha asked him to reply, and how Kashyapa told that he is following the Buddha as a teacher, and how the Buddha explained Dhamma to the people, and how 1,000 of people converted and became the lay followers of Buddha. After seeing all these things and hearing, having understood the Dhamma, having penetrated the Dhamma, having overcome uncertainty, means Bimbisara not only witnessed the scene, what had happened, but he understood the Dhamma. What he did, he understood the Dhamma. He penetrated the Dhamma. Penetrated the Dhamma means he went deep into the Dhamma to understand it fully. Understood and also went in deep inside. Overcome uncertainty. Whatever he had doubt in his mind, some uncertainty was there. He overcome it. Having dispelled all doubts, having gained full knowledge, and he got full knowledge. And after that, he said to Buddha, in former days, Lord, when I was a prince, I entertained 5 aspirations. These are now fulfilled. Now we have to see what are the 5 aspirants, 5 dreams we can say in a simple words. What are the 5 which he had and it was fulfilled? So he explains in very simple way. He said, oh, that I might be inaugurated king. Means he wanted to become a king. This was fulfilled because he was the king. This was his first dream. Whose dream? The king is Bimbisara's dream. Dream was when he was a prince to become a king. He wanted to be an inaugurated king, and he became the king. That first dream was fulfilled. What was the second one? And might then a holy one, fully enlightened one, come over into my kingdom. This was the second aspirations. What he had, he wanted that some fully enlightened one should come to his kingdom. And yes, obviously, Buddha entered the kingdom of Magadha. That is the place called एक मिनट. So here it was like, sorry, 1 minute. Hello. Sorry, sorry for disturbing. So the second aspirant was that the fully enlightened one should come to his kingdom, and Buddha came there, and there they were listening to Buddha, his Dhamma. The third aspiration was that the Buddha should enter him as a minister. Means he want to minister to the blessed one, the Buddha. He want to minister him, and because here minister him, maybe we can take it as to entertain him or tell him what he wanted to. So this was also fulfilled. The fourth one is, and might be the blessed one preach the Dhamma to me, and he wanted that the fully enlightened one should come there should attain him and should preach the Dhamma. This was the fourth one and it was also fulfilled. Now the fifth one, it was the understand the Dhamma. He wanted to understand his Dhamma. This was also fulfilled because he understood Buddha. So this kind of thing, 5 steps he had given here, what should happen in his life, in the life of King Bimbisara, that he should become a king. The enlightened one, the Buddha, should come to the kingdom. He should minister the Buddha. He should listen to the Buddha, preach the Buddha should preach the Dhamma to the king, and King Bimbisara should understand the Dhamma. And all the 5 things were fulfilled. Lord, which I entertained in former days when I was a prince. Means these 5 dreams which he had at the time when he was a prince, it was fulfilled. So, in great happiness, he expresses his words, wonderful Lord, wonderful, just as if one should set up what had been overturned, or should reveal what had been hidden, or should point out the way to one who had lost his way, or should bring a lamp into the darkness in order that those who had eyes might see things. What he says? Again, step by step he says, one should set up what had been overturned or should reveal what had been hidden. Means, what Buddha has told while giving the Dhamma to the people, he says that it is a kind of setup. How it is being revealed, the what was hidden. I think it is the truth which he says, which was hidden from the people, or they were unknown, or they were not knowing what it is. So this hidden thing was revealed to the people with a proper setup, or should point out the way to one who had lost his way. His Dhamma was giving the way to the people who have lost how to live a good life. Is the way means not while going to one place to another, but in their life, what they have, they want, how to live a good life. They lost it. They don't know how to live a good life. The Dhamma showed the way. Those who have lost his way, or should bring a lamp into the darkness. Means everyone was not knowing the knowledge of Dhamma. They were ignorant, and because there was no light, they did not have anything in their mind. So the mind was in darkness. The Dhamma was kind of a lamp which were enlightened, or which overcome the darkness in the mind of the people. In order that those who had eyes might see this, because of this lamp, because of this light of Dhamma, everyone was able to see properly what they should see. Thus the blessed one preached the Dhamma in many ways. So what King Bimbisara says, that he again shows the qualities of the, earlier he told the qualities of the Buddha. Now he is telling the qualities of Buddha, how he preached the Dhamma. So these are the different ways how he preached the Dhamma to the people, as if they were finding the way, the proper way, how to live a good life. They were finding the things which was not, they were not able to see clearly. They were able to see it clearly now. There was a light in the kind of light in the darkness, which or vanishes the dark, which vanished all the darkness in the mind. This is a type of different type of preaching the Dhamma. So King Bimbisara says then, I take refuge, Lord, in that blessed one, and in the Dhamma, and in the fraternity of bhikkhus, that is the monks. Now, because seeing all this, listening to the Dhamma, he becomes so happy that he declares that he want to take refuge in Buddha, he want to take refuge in Dhamma, and he want to take refuge in Sangha. Very well explained here about the Sangha, that is the fraternity of bhikkhus, which is missing now. You know, the Sangha is defined here as the fraternity of bhikkhus, the Sangha with metta. In Sangha, all the bhikkhus or bhikkhunis should be in fraternity. They should have metta with each other. They should be friendly with each other. And to that Sangha, he is taking the refuge. So may the blessed one receive me from this day forth, while my life lasts, as a lay disciple who has taken refuge in him. And so the king Bimbisara requests Buddha to accept him as a lay follower, because he wanted to take refuge in him, in Buddha, in Dhamma, and also in Sangha. And not only at that time, but he says that he want to be a lay disciple of Buddha till the end of his life. This was, and really, when we study further in this book, we'll come to many such kind of incidences. We'll find that till the end of his life, Bimbisara was a very good lay disciple of Buddha. So this was the conversion of Bimbisara, and I want to let you know, tell you that earlier chapter we had seen there when Siddhartha leaves his Kapil Vastu after taking a robe. He walked to the Rajgraha. He met King Bimbisara, and that time King Bimbisara takes a promise from Siddhartha that after he gets enlightened, he should come and meet him, because he had that second aspiration, second dream, that the fully enlightened one should come to his kingdom. And Siddhartha, after becoming enlightened, when this was the second dream, he came there and he teach Dhamma to him. So this kind of step-by-step things is explained in his book, and we get to know how Dhamma flourished at that time, and how the common people, even the Shreshtis who were doing the business, and the other people who became the sannyasis, how they became the disciples of Buddha, they became the bhikkhus, and how even the king became the disciple of Buddha as a lay follower. So this kind of things we see, that three steps we have seen now. First is the Yash, who became the bhikkhu. Second thing, the sannyasis, that is the three brothers, Kashyapa brothers. And in between we missed Sariputta and Moglan. They were also the sannyasis of Sanjay. We'll do it next session. And now it is the King Bimbisara. That means, and not only King Bimbisara, but the thousands and thousands of Brahmins and the householders, they became the followers, lay followers of Buddha. Here it is not mentioned any like thing that they became the bhikkhus, but the we say nowadays that we have the shelter of the state. It is like Rajashray. So from Bimbisara it started that Buddha got the shelter of the whole kingdom. So this was the kind that Buddha's teaching flourished at that time, and Dhamma was reaching to each and every people of that time in that area. At least it started from the Magadha, now known as Bihar. So I think I should stop here at present because many things are going on in my day-to-day life nowadays due to some programs. So I'm sorry that I missed one thing that would be taken in the next session. No problem. But some people came to meet me, so I would like to leave this session now. They're waiting for me. Okay? Is it okay, Mridula? Hello?
Yes, Bante.
Yeah, sorry. So we won't be taking the questions also today. Okay?
Next week we'll
Thank
do.
you. Thank you everyone for understanding my time and value. Thank you. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Jai Bhim, Namo Buddhaya.